nothing can ever compare to what we did in that space.
We felt like we were finally doing something. Things kind of happening. We saw blossom. We saw the ripple effect of what we can do.
There's just a lot going on in terms of police brutality, a lot of different cases coming to surface, Black Lives Matter really becoming prominent. Coming back to Colgate, it felt like we were removed from our communities that we cared about.
We see this in the news and everyone is talking about this thing, and we acknowledge that this thing is happening and that we also want to speak back to that.
During the first week of school, there was a mini protest to commemorate Mike Brown.
And then there was a die-in in the coop. People were literally walking over other people's bodies and not trying to read the literature that was created and just kind of making assumptions.
It felt like the campus didn't care and the institution didn't care. Most of what the movement was rooted in was how can we realize that these issues aren't distant and how they manifest at Colgate.
Those 6 hours of testimonials proved that something was wrong and that we were going to be agents for change, and we weren't just going to let someone be alone, that we were going to be together.
Natasha and Christy and Corey and Melly were in the archives about past protests, and we had meetings. It really spread like wildfire. So I think that like one of the goals that we had subconsciously was like to bring people together to speak about these things that we sweep under the rug, to bring to light these sometimes like really deplorable things that happen because they matter, and to make us to empower other people and students, even though they may have been first year students who are only here for a couple of weeks, like to empower them to feel like they can speak their truth. It was crowded and it was stuffy and we were like getting sick and stuff, but it was also so beautiful. Like there was art, there was music, there was crying, there was like pain, there was laughing, there was smiling. Like there was so much camaraderie and so much community in that space that there's no way for me to even conceptualize or even like say with words what that felt like. Why is it that our education that is deemed so great isn't really matching up with what we think you need to know in order to like be a responsible person in the world? I felt as though things could be different because I saw it being different. And I think like that was like one of the most beautiful things, is like being able to imagine a different reality.
If they were to ask, do you want to do it again? I would say, of course. Knowing how hard it would be, knowing how much I would cry, knowing how much my friends would cry, knowing how painful it is, I would still do it because I know that at the very least something kind of beautiful came from that. There's a beautiful conversation from that.
In some ways, I think I subconsciously look for spaces on Colgate, or look to create spaces at Colgate now that mimic that feeling. Honestly, walking out of that space, I felt almost a sense of loss of like I need to get back like to be with my family.